Okay, trying to get this microphone to work properly for us, and just want to go through this assessment 3, so we've got a little bit of clarity on what's required. Now, just a couple of things. It's a group assignment, and obviously we need contribution from all members of the group, and that should be the way you do all of your university work when you're in groups. It's worth 40% of your final mark, so it's a substantial value, and therefore you have to do a good job on it. Okay, topic, player welfare, health and wellness agenda. This is a sports marketing communication plan, and it is based on the article that is provided there from The Age with regard to Justin Clark after concussions. Now, this is a very topical issue at the moment across multiple sports, and of course, we've had proof that across the different football codes and in other sports as well, people are having ongoing problems after they've left the sport, and obviously concussion and brain damage is one of them, but there are other things as well. Now, the nature of sport, of course, is, and particularly in a lot of sports, is body contact, and therefore there are going to be injuries, but it's the prevention or the management of those injuries and the minimisation of long-term damage that this is the real issue about. So just in terms of the way you go about this, you need to firstly understand this particular article and then go and do some work to gather together information about player welfare and ongoing issues of health and wellness. In terms of the format, and I want you to make sure that you maintain the format going forward, because one of the issues that we often have with assignments at university is that students don't provide all of the material that is required. And if we've got, and we'll go through the marking rubric at the end of this, if we've got work that needs to be provided, that needs to be part of an assignment, there would normally be marks allocated to that part of it. And if you haven't done that section, I can't give you any marks. So make sure that you have all of these components in your document. Because it's only 2,000 words, don't spend too much time on the introduction, history, and membership base and that type of thing. It is a fact issue, if you like. This is because it's a marketing communication plan, it's in the form of a report, really. So it needs to have an introduction, if not an executive summary, an introduction, and then a table of contents, and then it needs to go into these topic areas. So, background of the organisation, market research. You must use a minimum of 5 different people to complete this research. I think if you're using AFL, or even if you're using another sport and talking to your sports trainers and otherwise, there is enough people available for you to do a good job of this in terms of conducting some basic market research, preferences for current potential audience, and talk about the different stakeholders that might be involved in the sport. So a cross-section of those would be a good one. And you can use face-to-face interviews or whatever. They should be acknowledged in your bibliography. You've got to do a SWOT analysis. We've done some work on this. Now, bear in mind, this is to do with health and wellness, so it should be focused on that. Then we do marketing goals and objective based on your research and your SWOT analysis. In other words, your situational analysis. You then sort of set some goals for the organisation in terms of what you're going to deliver, and then who's your audience? So who are you going to send this information to? Is it to the general public? Is it the sports administrators? Is it to the media? How are you going to get this information out? What should your message be? And again, you are focused on this player welfare thing, but basically you're trying to get a message out to the particular target audience that you're going after. Now, the core of this really is how will you get this message out? So you've got to look at these different methods of communication. Unfortunately, if you look at the number that are available here, we need to sort of, and with 2,000 word limit, you basically need to choose probably two major areas here, and then probably two of the smaller ones where you would do a partial information thing on that. So certainly you may be wanting to use the media, you may want to be using social media, you might want to be using face-to-face information provided via the media. That is your choice. So that's the way that works. And just to top it off, make sure that you have your 10 academic references. Now, in this case, we're not looking necessarily for peer-reviewed journal articles. You can use textbooks and other information, and certainly credible media sources, people that have done reports on this, medical staff and others, and you can put that into your document. APA referencing is required. It's built into Microsoft Word, so you should be able to take advantage of that. But a minimum of 10 references. If they're not there, and when we're marking academic work, we look for those references first. We read the bit of an introduction, we look back at the references, see the quality of the references, and then go and read the rest of the document. And that's the way that most people mark these types of assignments. Just one thing, make sure you have a conclusion. Now, it may only be 2 or 3 sentences, but oftentimes students get to the 2,000 word mark, they get to 2,150 words and go, oh, running out of words, and just stop. Make sure that you top and tail the document. It should have a conclusion. No new information introduced, but just a conclusion. My findings after discussing this is the following. That's your conclusion, right? Please have a look at the marking rubric. And where you get your marks. Background of the topic, knowledge and understanding, 20%. That's not based only on the background of the organisation. Most of that is on the background to the topic. So, player welfare. Understand the market research principles and methods applicable, so how you've done your research. Understanding the use of a SWOT analysis and strategies. Plan for measuring performance, goals and SMART objectives. And the methods of communication, 10%, use of academic discipline and convention, source of evidence, 10%. And then finally, effective communication, which also means the quality of the document itself, so that it's proper, you put spell checker through it, grammar checker, you make sure it is a professionally presented document. And really, that's it. The material inside it is your responsibility, but make sure you follow the format that has been given to you, and always do when you're at university. If you are seeing this on a Monday and you've got your quiz not complete, make sure you finish it by tonight, and we'll talk to you on Thursday in our last sort of wrap-up class. So that's where we finish, and we'll talk to you soon.